Well, the state of the state football-wise today, huh?
It's pretty well for Florida State as far as Bobby Bowden goes. And leading up to this game week, even I'm getting excited. I'm not from around here, and this is all new to me, and it's pretty exciting. But we are now just 3 days away from the Seminoles season opener against Texas Tech. And today, the annual kickoff luncheon at the Civic Center gave the faithful a chance to catch the spirit and to hear the Chief deliver his State of the Union address. Now, by all indicators, this should be a banner year for Florida State, but the coach isn't one to make comparisons too quickly with the great teams of the past.
I know this since I've been here. A couple of the best ball teams we've had was 79 and 80. This group of guys is more talented, but will they be as good?
Well, we'll start finding that out Saturday night at Doak Campbell Stadium, 7 o'clock kickoff. Don't forget our Seminole preview show Friday night at 7:30 right here on Channel 6. The Florida A&M Rattlers, meanwhile, look toward their season opener as well, also Saturday, also at 7 o'clock, and against Tuskegee at Bragg Stadium right here in Tallahassee. Now to baseball, where the National League is going to examine the evidence a little more closely before deciding whether or not to suspend Houston Astros outfielder Billy Hatcher, who was caught with cork in his bat last night in a game against the Cubs. Hatcher was ejected from the game and faces a suspension if he's found guilty, but he contends that bat wasn't even his.
You know, I had no idea that the bat was corked or whatever because it was a batting practice bat that the pitchers used, and I grabbed it and I used it because it was my model.
Well, tonight in Houston, Rick Sutcliffe looking for his 16th win, but Houston's Kevin Bass had other ideas. He takes Sutcliffe deep to right field. A solo homer made it 3-1 Astros, and Houston is burying the Cubs right now, 10-1 in the ninth. Earlier this afternoon, the Expos down San Francisco 7-3, but the Giants still on top in the West. Bob Walk and Jim Gott shut down the Braves 2-0. Cincinnati topped St. Louis 3-1, though the Cardinals still lead the East. Out West, the Mets and Dwight Gooden tied with San Diego 2-2 in the third, and the Phillies have the early lead on the Dodgers out on the coast. Now, the American League is where the real pennant races are. Just a half game separated the first and second place teams in each division coming into tonight's action. The A's are chasing the Twins in the West, and tonight Reggie Jackson made what might be his last appearance at Yankee Stadium in his career. But in the top of the second, it was Terry Steinbeck who gave the Athletics the early lead with this single up the middle off Tommy John. It scored Mark McGuire. Oakland led it 1-0. The Yanks tied it up in the fifth. Don Mattingly, the hitting machine, strokes his third straight hit to right. It scored Bobby Meacham, made it 2-2 at that point. Right now, it's still 2-2, and now they're in the 10th inning. But even if the A's can pull it out, they'll still trail the Twins in the West because Minnesota beat the Red Sox 5-4 tonight. Earlier today, Toronto topped Cleveland 7-6 on an eighth-inning homer by George Bell. So Detroit went out and kept their half-game cushion by beating Cleveland, but it was not easy. Tom Candiotti pitched a one-hitter for the Tribe, and he still lost. Elsewhere, Chicago blanked Texas 5-0, Milwaukee over KC 3-2, and Seattle outslugged Baltimore 8-6. We turn now to a former Florida State Seminole with big league aspirations. Jody Reed played shortstop for the Seminoles in 1983 and 84 and is rising through the Red Sox chain now at their AAA club in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Scott Atwell has more.
In Pawtucket, they love their Paw Sox, and town folk have fallen in love with Jody Reed the same way Seminole fans romance the shortstop during his years at Florida State. On defense, they say he has the quickest hands of anyone who's ever come through the Red Sox chain. And at the plate, he's beefed up his production to all-time highs. The regular season stats are in the book, and they read like this. An average of .296 for the year, but a hefty .329 since the end of May, plus career highs for home runs and RBIs, 7 and 51 respectively. It's just about everything Jody wanted to accomplish in his first year of AAA ball, which is only one step away from the majors.
I think every hitter wants to hit 300, and I basically wanted to keep my errors under 20, and I've done that. I wanted to be consistent. I wanted to hit consistently and play good in the field, and I think that's what a minor leaguer has to do to show them that he can play in the major leagues.
The only thing keeping Jody from booking a flight to Beantown is the International League playoffs. Win or lose, whenever they're over, it's almost a sure bet that Jody will get the call from Boston. He spent his first spring with the big club last March, so he won't be a stranger around the clubhouse.
You go in there like in spring training and you didn't know anybody. Now I'm going to know just about half the team up there, personally, on a personal basis. So that should help, I think. Make it easier to set right in there and not, get over the nervousness quickly.
When the call comes, it could mark the end of Reed's tenure in Pawtucket. Word is he'll be with the big club for good next season, but that's okay. Boston's just 35 miles away, and the only thing they love here more than the Paw Sox are the Red Sox. Scott Atwell, Channel 6 Eyewitness Sports.
And day 2 at the U.S. Open Tennis Championship in New York saw Jimmy Connors turn 35 and take the first step toward a possible 6th men's singles title at Flushing Meadow. Connors taking on former Florida State player Jody Reed. Reed serving in the far court. He's going to drive Connors deep to the baseline, and then he's going to come to the net for the nice volley, with Jimbo with the soft backhand just passing down the line for the winner. Connors won the first set 6-1. We go now to match point. Connors serving in the far court. Reed again with the long return, but when Connors returned, keeps him deep, he hits it long. Connors took the second and third sets, wins it 6-1, 6-4, 6-4. Happy birthday, Jimbo. Thursday's best fishing, a little more reasonable hour than in recent days, about 7 in the morning up till noon. And the lucky combo at the Jefferson County Kennel Club tonight, the 3-4, paid $39 even. And Frank, that's sports.
Okay, thanks, Ken. Well